Night rides are a fantastic way to end a fun-filled day at an amusement park. At some parks, the loss of light just results in a darker experience. Other parks illuminate the rides. So in this video, I will rank my top 25 favorite amusement parks for night rides, focusing specifically on the coasters. For a park to make this list, the coasters must get appreciably better at night. For example, Energylandia's roller coasters are fantastic, but I didn't find that they improved at all once the sun went down. Therefore, that park will not make this list. I must also have gotten night rides at this park. Most European parks close too early for this to happen when I'm over there. One that I've heard and suspect would be incredible for night rides is Alton Towers, but they closed at just 4 o'clock when I was there. I also suspect Linnanmäki would have given stunning night rides looking down from atop the hill on the lights of Helsinki. And I've also been able to walk around Phantasialand at night, but not ride anything, and their areas looked incredible lit up at night. This ranking isn't necessarily by the best coaster collection, but it's a measure of how much better their coasters get once the sun goes down. That is why, spoiler alert, Cedar Point will not place in the top spot, even though their overall coaster collection is the best of any park in my opinion. Starting off this list at number 25 is the Disneyland Resort. While not a top tier coaster park, 3 of their coasters are significantly better at night. Incredicoaster is an electric lighting package, and the thematic elements are much easier to see at night, particularly Violet's effect. Then Big Thunder Mountain and Matterhorn bobsleds both have an eerie mystique at night as you wind around the illuminated mountain outdoors and then go through the super dark tunnels, augmenting their modest speed. Number 24, Plopsaland Japan. This park has 2 great night rides. Ride to Happiness is already incredible and super disorienting with all that spinning, but becomes even nuttier at night when the vehicles emit blinding lights in all directions. Then Anubis the Ride is tucked amongst the trees. You can barely see that layout by day, so you go through the fun elements blind at night. Just note that Heidi the Ride closes in the evening due to noise issues, which is a negative though. Number 23, Six Flags America. Say what you want about this park, but it does give great night rides. Superman goes out into the woods, and I've even seen a deer along the course before. You can barely see anything in that first helix. Roar gives decent night rides up front, as that dense wood structure is disorienting, especially during Fright Fest when it's coated in fog. Joker's Jinx is an absolute blur because of that tangled mess of track and the aggressive layout, plus the lighting. Then Batwing is another super dark ride, assuming it's open. Number 22, Six Flags New England. This park has 3 night rides of note. The best is easily Superman. The view of the Connecticut River at night is so serene. The first half is extremely dark, while the second half dashes around an illuminated midway. Wicked Cyclone is dizzying as it shoots through its support structure in the second half. Then Pandemonium receives a fun overlay as the zombie coaster for Fright Fest, with rainbow-colored lights and a few figures. Number 21, Six Flags Mexico. This park's top 2 get much better at night. Superman has a heavily wooded pre-lift section that's even more surprising in the dark, and much of the layout is set ways back from the pathways so you have minimal light there. Then Medusa Steel Coaster is even better because that layout has all these head choppers that are even more shocking at night, plus that dark section that juts out from the main layout. Number 20, SeaWorld San Antonio. This park has several cool night rides. Wavebreaker may be a mild coaster, but I love how the lights twinkle above the water at night. Steel Eel and especially Texas Stingray give really dark night rides. The latter also warms up pretty significantly as the day progresses. Number 19, Busch Gardens Tampa. Cheetah Hunt is the park's best night ride. You zoom through the super varied layout in near total darkness, and you just hear the occasional sounds of the water effects or LSMs, which is sorta creepy. Then you have a trio of B&Ms, with Montu in particular standing out for its use of trenches as they take away what little light remains. Number 18, Knoebels. This park's coasters are contained within themselves, but they give great night rides. The park sometimes turns off all the lights on Phoenix for the last rides of the night, and it's pretty darn terrifying when you cannot see the lap bar that's a good foot above your lap, and you just keep hitting it in the dark. You're basically taking a leap of faith. Then Twister absolutely hauls at night, and the twisted layout is hard to anticipate. Plus, flying turns is a pretty neat experience after dark because you just feel consumed by the track. Number 17, Lake Compounce. This admittedly is just for Boulder Dash, but that coaster is such an amazing night ride, I had to put the whole park on the list. This CCI is set on a heavily wooded mountainside, and there is zero light along the course. That makes the speed, airtime, laterals, and pacing, which are already elite, even better. Number 16, Knott's Berry Farm. Ghost Rider is famous for amazing night rides, as the coaster rips through its dense structure, combining nice airtime and powerful laterals. But several of the park's other coasters have pretty solid night rides too. Accelerator gets better at night because the on-ride photos flash blinds you after the launch, and that makes the insane launch even more head-scratching. Then Hang Time is one of the most dynamic lighting packages out there. The ride is a work of art. Number 15, Carowinds. Fury 325 is magical at night. It feels extra fast, the green light in the Hive Dive is an eye-popping effect, and the crew has so much energy. And pro tip, they usually give double rides for the last train of the night. Copperhead Strike is another fun one at night, with the lights on the train illuminating the way. And Afterburn has a really dark setting that makes the flurry of forceful inversions hit even harder. Number 14, Kennywood. This park's ravine setting is incredible for night rides. From experience, I can say pitch black rides on Thunderbolt and Jackrabbit are great as you plunge down the ravine. And I can tell that Phantom's Revenge would be insane at night. Although they cut the line off too early, so the latest I've experienced it is at sunset, which is already better because it felt like you dropped into a black hole on that famous second drop. Number 13, King's Dominion. The best night ride here may arguably be Grizzly. The layout is tucked in the woods, and it feels completely out of control with those airtime pops and sudden laterals. Then you have Intimidator 305, which becomes even crazier at night when you cannot see those crazy transitions coming. And then Twisted Timbers is fun any time of day. Number 12, Six Flags Magic Mountain. This park has the quantity for sure, but a handful of their coasters get quite a bit better at night. X2 has very little light, and the fire effect is blinding if it's active. Both Revolution and Full Throttle give very dark rides as they carve on the mountainside. Twisted Colossus is a mix of darkness and illuminated near misses, and I've heard Apocalypse gives great night rides winding through the structure, but I've only ridden that one by day. But the best night ride for me is arguably Tatsu. You have a mix of dark hillside elements combined with the overbanked turns that offer beautiful vantage points of the park's lights, particularly if it's during holiday in the park. Number 11, Islands of Adventure. Whereas most parks in this list are for their settings, Islands of Adventure makes it for their theming. Hulk is cool lit up at night above the water, but the other two main coasters are better. Velocicoaster's first half is magical as you wind through the illuminated rockwork, and then you transition to a darker second half. And those trains look gorgeous lit up in blue. Then Hagrid's is sweet because the Forbidden Forest hits harder at night. You struggle to tell the difference between the indoor and outdoor segments, which ups the ride's already impressive immersion. Number 10, Six Flags Fiesta Texas. The quarry wall works wonders for Roadrunner Express and Iron Rattler. The latter in particular is incredible. While many take issue with the slow section above the quarry wall, you may think differently when you cannot see those airtime hills and lateral hang time elements sneaking up on you. Superman is also pretty dark at night. Then I like how Poltergeist is lit to make that spaghetti bowl extra dizzying, like the aforementioned Joker's Jinx. Wonder Woman isn't appreciably better at night, but it's just elite any time of day. Number 9, Liseberg. This park's placement atop a wooded hill in the middle of a city creates a dreamlike atmosphere. Helix is breathtaking. You alternate between pitch black sections hugging the terrain and large elements offering stunning vistas of downtown Gothenburg, while you're also getting hang time or strong air time. Liseberg Banan uses the same hill, although it just offers less vantage points of the metropolis. And Baldur's contained layout is illuminated in such a way that enhances the sense of speed. Number 8, Hershey Park. Candymonium is my favorite night ride here. That first half feels pretty isolated, even if it is near a road in the parking lot, and the second half interacts well with the illuminated fountain. Skyrush has little light, so the insane airtime and laterals hit harder. Stormrunner is another coaster with incredible speed and little light, which makes those rapid elements feel even crazier. Super Duper Looper and Great Bear have half their layouts shrouded in darkness, and then all three Woodies are cool at night with their chaser lights. Although Wildcat and Lightning Racer are extra notable for how the tangled layouts are more unpredictable when you can't quite see the turns coming. Number 7. Cedar Point. The energy of the ride operators here seems to build throughout the day, with Millennium Force's station being the peak. And that is also my favorite night ride here as you zoom through the minimally lit Millennium Island at breakneck speeds. Both Magnum XL200 and Maverick also have great settings as you're right up against Lake Erie with minimal light. Top Thrill Dragster looks super imposing at night with how it's lit up, and then Steel Vengeance is stunning with all that airtime and the way it winds through its structure at night. Number 6. Dollywood. This park has my favorite night ride and favorite overall coaster in Lightning Rod. You have zero light in the first half as you're getting ejected from your seat while on your side. Then the finale is a blur with the quad down, and it's absolutely surreal during Smoky Mountain Christmas when you come over the hillside and see the lights in the distance. Both Tennessee Tornado and Wild Eagle also give very dark night rides with their wooded settings on the hill, and Thunderhead feels like a bat out of hell after dark. Number 5. Busch Gardens Williamsburg. The amount of rides here that improve after dark is incredible, and their hours make it easy to get night rides. Apollo's Chariot is a super dark floater airtime machine out into the woods. You cannot see the valleys. Invader's isolated setting also results in pitch black night rides, which allows this little GCI to feel stronger. Loch Ness Monster and Alpengeist are pretty dark rides that take away what little light you have, as you're also graying out from the positive Gs. Then Griffon interacts well with the pathways at night for a change of pace. Lastly, Verbolten may be mostly indoors, but the outdoor bits are extra thrilling because they're deep in the woods. Number 4. Six Flags Great Adventure. This park has elite rides and dark settings. El Toro and Jersey Devil Coaster have minimal light on their courses and plenty of powerful airtime. Nitro goes way out into the woods, and Kingda Ka is a religious experience on foggy Fright Fest nights. You cannot even see the top of the tower some nights, and it feels like you're blasting into a cloud. And do not forget that you can ride the B&Ms at Holiday in the Park in sub-freezing conditions, which feels like it'll rip your face off. Number 3. Holiday World. Even excluding the trimless Voyage rides you can get at Hollywood Nights, all 4 major coasters here are way better at night because they go deep into the woods. Voyage is one of the best night rides anywhere. You can barely see any of that layout, with the Spaghetti Bowl in particular being a dark blur. The coaster never ends, and it just keeps chucking you out of your seat. Then Raven and Legend both feel out of control as well once the sun goes down, between their laterals and fast-paced layouts. And Thunderbird also has a really dark series of inversions, plus some nice lighting effects on the launch that really pop at night. Number 2. Kings Island. This park is famous for night rides. Beast is arguably the coaster that improves most of any from day to night as you travel so deep in the woods. This coaster is not about the elements, it's all about that setting. Then you have several coasters offering isolated settings as well, just not quite to the extent of Beast. But those coasters have better elements. Orion, Diamondback, and Mystic Timbers are the 3 that stand out in that regard, and the latter is actually my favorite night ride here. Banshee is eerie at night with the fog pumping into the area, and even the supporting coasters give really dark night rides, such as Bat and Adventure Express. And coming in at number 1 is Silver Dollar City. All of this park's coasters are placed in the perimeter, and they go out into the woods, so you get zero light once the sun goes down. Outlaw Run is incredible, flying through the forest at breakneck speeds while maneuvering those crazy RMC elements. Powder Keg offers a similarly dark setting with another great ride experience. Time Traveler's extra dizzying at night because you cannot tell which way is up when you're in the dark. And Wildfire is another dark thrill coaster. Even Thunderation becomes a much better mine train as you careen down that dark hillside. This is the park I will always try to visit for Christmas or Moonlight Madness because of the quantity and quality of night rides here. So those are my top 25 favorite parks for night rides. What is your favorite amusement park for night rides and coasters? Do you think I missed any? Let me know down in the comments. If you enjoyed this countdown, I'd appreciate it if you gave this video a like, and you considered subscribing, because there'll be a lot more roller coaster amusement park videos here at Canobie Coaster. Thanks for watching.